All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about the relationships that chords make. So it turns out that if you were to intersect two chords in a circle, the segments of those chords would be proportional to each other. And that's because they would form two similar triangles. They would have angles that would be all the same measure. And so similar triangles are proportional. So we can conclude that the segments themselves will be proportional to each other here. So it turns out what happens is the pieces along the chord, if you multiply those together, so let's say we multiply this length times this length, whatever they are, if we multiply them together, that product will be the same as if you multiply these two lengths together. And so that's what that formula comes from. The two in the chord multiplied equal the two in the other chord multiplied. So let's apply that to a couple questions. In the circle below, AE is 10 inches. You might want to redraw this or label on your computer if you can. So that's going to be 10. EC is 15. Now notice that EC is in a different segment. So I'm gonna color code it so it looks over here. So I'm gonna put a 15 there. DE is 12. DE is along the same segment as CE, so I'm gonna put a 12 there. And the question says, what is the length of EB? So I want to know EB. So if you look at the previous example, it was like A times B equals B times C, or C times D. Basically, you want to do 10 times X. Those are in the same chord. And then we want to set that equal to 15 times 12. That relationship, 10x equals 15 times 12. So let's use just some more common notation. 10x equals 15 times 12. 15 times 12, don't know that off the top of my head. So we'll use our calculator. That's 180. So 10x equals 180. And then if I divide that by 10, we get 18. So 10x equals 180. Divide by 10. X is 18. So that means that the length from, that I called X, the length from E to B, that's going to be 18 units long. So in this case here, since we're talking about inches, that would be 18 inches. Try letter B. Pause the video and try it on your own. Then you can unpause it and check. Okay, hopefully you've tried it. In the circle below, VY is 11. XV is 15. Again, XV is along a different length. I'll put a different color with that. So that's going to be 15. VW, that's the red one again. So as long as it's on the same, I use the same color for each, as long as the segments are on the same chord. So VW is going to be 18. And I want to know, what is the length of ZV? So again, need to know this one here. So we'll call that X. And see if you can set up your equation. It should be 15x equals 18 times 11. So 15x equals 18 times 11. What is 18 times 11? Let's check. That's 198, and then I'm gonna have to divide 15. So 198 divided by 15 is 13.2. 13.2. So sometimes you get decimals. So 13.2. So that means ZV is 13.2, and there were no units on there, so we'll just say units long. It could be inches, centimeters, whatever. All right, let's look at number 6. Okay, this one's very, very, very similar. So I think I'll let you try this one on your own, and you can check in class with me. So try on your own. By watching the examples that we went over. Okay, number 7. All right, 7a. In the circle below, FM equals 10. MG is 6. That's in the same chord, so I'll put a 6 there. PM is 4. And what is the length of PQ? Now, PQ is not MQ, right? PQ is this whole thing. So in this problem, you still got to get MQ, but that's not the answer, okay? So MQ is not the answer, but we have to solve for it first. So we're going to call that X, but X is not going to be what PQ is. X plus 4 is going to be what PQ is. So let's first get X. We're going to do 4X equals 10 times 6. So 4X equals 60. 60 divided by 4. Should be 15. You can double check me on that math. All right, so 15 is X. 15 is X. Right, this length here is 15. 15 times 4 is 10 times 6. However, PQ is 19 because we're going to add 4 to that. So P to Q, this whole thing, is going to be 19. 15 plus 4 is 19. Okay? Can you do letter B? Try this one on your own. It's very, very similar to the one right above it. And just like the one the previous question, I will not go over this one now. So try it on your own, answer it, and you can always check with me in class or whenever if you need to check it. Okay, the last 2 questions are review. So this would be a review of 7.1. Equations of a circle. So let's see if we can go over that. Which equation represents the circle with center 4, -6, and a radius square root of 12? Well, the formula for that is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Well, r is the square root of 12. So the center is hk. The minus means flip the sign. So x minus 4 squared plus y, ooh, it's -6, plus 6 squared equals the square root of 12 squared. Well, what is the square root of 12 squared? Is it 12 or the square root of 12? What happens when you square a square root? I'll leave you with that, and you can answer that question. And then the last one. Question number 9. What is the area of the shaded sector round to the nearest hundredth of a square centimeter? And what is the length of arc XY round to the nearest hundredth of a centimeter? Well, in order to do those, you have to recall, and this was, by the way, 7.3 and 7.4. Let's see, what do we do? Well, we have 75 is your angle. Your radius is 12. The formula for area is angle over 360 times pi r squared. And the formula for length is angle over 360 times 2 pi r. It's the same radius and the same degree. So you go ahead and plug those numbers in and put your answers in. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.